Have you ever noticed how the word contentment often makes people uncomfortable? For many, the moment they hear it, they think it means giving up, settling, or losing ambition. Contentment becomes confused with complacency, with laziness, with comfort zones. But what if I told you that real contentment isn't about staying still, it's about standing firm? It isn't weakness, it's strength. It isn't the end of growth, it's the beginning of peace. You see, people confuse being satisfied with the moment with giving up on the future. And that's the trap, because true contentment is not the death of desire, it's the foundation of discipline. In this video, we're going to explore the real meaning of contentment, why it's not the same as complacency, why it's rooted in gratitude and trust, and how you can be deeply content with what you have today while still pursuing more tomorrow. If you've ever struggled with comparison, dissatisfaction, or feeling like you're not where you should be in life, this message is for you. So stay with me. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more content on mindset, growth, and personal transformation, because we go deep into topics just like this every week. Now, let's talk about what contentment really is. Most people live in a constant state of chasing. They chase the next job, the next house, the next status symbol. And with every milestone, the satisfaction fades almost immediately, replaced by the urge to chase again. This endless pursuit is often disguised as ambition. But in reality, it's restlessness. It's the inability to pause, to breathe, to say, I have enough, even while I work toward more. That's where contentment comes in. Contentment is not saying, I don't want better. It's saying, I am grateful now, even as I prepare for better. Think about it this way. Complacency says, this is all I'll ever be, so why try? Contentment says, I'm grateful for where I am, but I trust that growth will come. One is a cage, the other is freedom. You see, contentment is rooted in gratitude. Gratitude for the small things, the overlooked blessings, the daily mercies that we often rush past. When you anchor yourself in gratitude, you're no longer a slave to outcomes. You don't wait for a promotion to feel worthy. You don't need validation to feel valuable. You don't need more to finally allow yourself peace. This is where psychology and spiritual wisdom align. When you're in a state of gratitude, your brain literally rewires. You stop over-focusing on lack, and you train your mind to notice abundance. It's not just a mindset trick. It changes the way you feel in your body. Stress lowers. Peace rises. Your perspective shifts. Contentment, then, is a state of being. It doesn't begin when you finally achieve something. It doesn't end when you fall short. It just is. It's the trust that life is unfolding in its own rhythm, and that you are part of something bigger than your current moment. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you are content, you actually become more capable of growth. Why? Because you're no longer driven by fear, comparison, or desperation. You act from a place of trust and clarity, not anxiety and scarcity. Now, let's flip the coin. What happens when you don't practice contentment? The truth is, life without contentment becomes a never-ending race. You run faster and faster, yet the finish line keeps moving further away. You hit goals, but they don't feel like enough. You achieve success, but it leaves you strangely empty. You keep asking yourself, why doesn't this feel the way I thought it would? That's the cost of chasing without gratitude. When contentment is missing, your mind is always comparing. You look at others and measure your worth against their highlight reels. You begin to believe the lie that you're behind, that you're failing, that life owes you more than it has given. And here's the danger. This mindset quietly robs you of joy. Even in moments of victory, you feel restless. Even in seasons of abundance, you feel poor. Even when surrounded by love, you feel lonely. Think about how destructive this cycle can be. Emotionally, it creates frustration, envy, and constant dissatisfaction. Mentally, it breeds anxiety, the fear of never being enough. Spiritually, it disconnects you from gratitude and trust. Practically, it leads to burnout, because no matter how hard you push, the emptiness doesn't go away. And here's the contrast lens. While the ungrateful mind is restless, the content mind is at peace. While the entitled person waits for life to give them happiness, the content person builds happiness from within. While one withers in comparison, the other flourishes in gratitude. The consequence of ignoring contentment is not just dissatisfaction, it's the slow erosion of your ability to enjoy life at all. Because when you can't be content with little, you won't be content with much. So, the real danger isn't just that you miss peace today, it's that you may never find it tomorrow. So, the question is, how do we practice contentment without falling into complacency? How do we stay grateful for today while still building for tomorrow? Here are 3 powerful shifts you can make starting right now. 1. Trade expectation for effort. Most people live in the mindset of, if I do this, I deserve that. They tie their peace to results. They believe the world owes them success, recognition, or rewards simply because they've worked hard. But life doesn't operate on entitlement. And when you expect outcomes, disappointment is inevitable. Instead, focus on effort. Anchor your fulfillment in the fact that you showed up, that you grew, that you gave your best. When you stop demanding guarantees from the future, you free yourself to actually enjoy the present. 2. Adopt the learner's mindset. Contentment is not the absence of desire, it's the presence of perspective. Instead of saying, I should already be there, say, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm becoming. Every stage of life is a classroom. Some days you learn patience. Some days you learn humility. Some days you learn resilience. The learner is never stagnant, even when progress feels invisible. When you adopt this mindset, contentment flows naturally because you no longer measure your life by comparison, you measure it by growth. Reflective prompt. What lesson is this moment teaching me? 3. Balance gratitude with vision. Gratitude grounds you, vision guides you. If you only have vision without gratitude, you'll always feel restless, like you're chasing a horizon you can't reach. If you only have gratitude without vision, you risk stagnation, never striving for more. But when you balance both, you live in a sweet spot, grateful for what you have, clear about where you're going, at peace with the pace of your journey. This is contentment in action, a state of being that fuels growth, not one that stifles it. Reflective prompt. Am I practicing gratitude for today while still holding vision for tomorrow? These shifts are not just practices, they are mindsets. And when you internalize them, you'll notice that your drive doesn't weaken, it actually strengthens. Because now your ambition is rooted in peace, not pressure. Think of your life like a tree. When a tree is young, it doesn't rush to produce fruit. It spends years quietly growing its roots, drawing strength from the soil, reaching deeper and deeper for water. From the outside, it may look like nothing is happening, but underground, the foundation is being built. Now, imagine if the tree were restless. If it could think like us, it might say, why haven't I produced fruit yet? Why don't I have the shade of the bigger tree next to me? Why is my progress so slow? But a wise tree knows that growth is not wasted just because it isn't visible. Contentment for the tree is not complacency. It doesn't stop growing. It doesn't give up on fruit. It keeps reaching upward and downward at the same time. And here's the lesson for us. We are like that tree. Contentment is when we say, I'm rooted where I am, grateful for the soil beneath me, but I trust that in time, the fruit will come. The person who lacks contentment is like a tree constantly jealous of others. They neglect their own soil, always wishing for a different patch of ground, forgetting that their strength comes from tending to the roots they already have. But the person who embraces contentment finds peace in the process. They know that fruit will come when the season is right. And in the meantime, the roots, gratitude, patience, trust are what truly make them unshakable. So ask yourself, are you the restless tree, always staring at others, anxious for fruit? Or are you the rooted tree, growing in silence, grounded in gratitude, knowing your time will come? So here's the question I'll leave you with. Are you living your days restless, always waiting for the next thing to finally make you happy? Or are you choosing to live with contentment, grateful for today, yet still open to growth tomorrow? Because the truth is, life isn't waiting for you to arrive at some distant milestone before it begins. It's happening right now, in this very moment. And if you miss the peace of today because you're obsessed with the promise of tomorrow, you may spend your entire life chasing something you never catch. Contentment is not the end of desire. It's the foundation of peace. It's not weakness, it's strength. It's not complacency, it's clarity. So as you move forward, ask yourself, am I rooted in gratitude? Am I learning from this season? Am I trusting that growth will come in its time? If you can honestly answer yes to those questions, then you've found something rare, something powerful, something the world cannot take away. Now, if this message resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might be struggling with comparison, frustration, or restlessness. And if you want more content like this, lessons on mindset, psychology, personal growth, and the deeper truths that shape our lives, hit that subscribe button and join this journey with us. Because the path to growth isn't about rushing. It's about being rooted. And the more rooted you are in gratitude, the stronger you'll grow toward greatness. So I'll ask you one last time. Are you waiting or are you building?